Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I don't know when I'm going to put this up, but I am reading the book of Enoch, and I am excited about this. And this computer makes so much noise, and the microphone's supposed to block out the noise, and it don't. But you see this? Okay. Right. I don't want to get stuff mixed up, so I have the names of the good angels, or the godly ones, the one who follow God. The followers of God, the followers of Jesus Christ, the followers of Jehovah, the followers of the great I am, the followers of God. Okay, and I have here the names of the angels that abandon heaven and God faithless. Alright, so I'm going to show it to you. I don't know if you can see it or not, but I'm putting it up here. Here it is. I don't know, right here. So I'm writing, right here. I'm writing this down so I won't get it mixed up. Because when I start reading this book, I saw, when he started talking about the good and the bad angels. This one is by J. Winter. Dr. J. Winter. He interpreted this. Alright. I don't see how you can, but let's go. Okay, you ready? Book 1, The Watchers. Chapter 1, The Words of the Blessings of Enoch. I am on Chapter 1. The words of the blessings of Enoch, wherewith he blessed the elect and righteous, who will be living in the days of tribulation, when all the wicked and godless are to be removed. And Enoch, a righteous man whose eyes were opened by God, took up his probable and said, I saw the vision of the Holy One in the heavens, which the angels showed me, and from them I heard everything, and from them I understood as I saw, but not for this generation, but for a remote one, which is for to come. Concerning the elect, I said, and took up my probable concerning them, the Holy Great One will come forth from his dwelling. And the eternal God will tread upon the earth, even on Mount Sinai, and will appear in strength of his might from the heaven of heavens. And all shall be smitten with fear, and the watchers shall quake, and great fear and trembling shall seize them unto the ends of the earth. And the high mountains shall be shaken, and the high hills shall be made low, and shall melt like wax before the flame. And the earth shall be wholly rent in cinder, and all that is upon the earth shall perish, and there shall be a judgment upon all. But with the righteous he will make peace, and will protect the elect, and mercy shall be upon them, and they shall all belong to God. And they shall be prospered, and they shall be blessed, and he will help them all, and light shall appear upon them. And he will make peace with them. And behold, he cometh with 10,000s of his holy ones to execute judgment upon all, and to destroy all the ungodly, and to convict all flesh of all the works of their ungodliness. And they have ungodly committed, and of all the hard things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him. Chapter 2. The creation. Observe ye everything that takes place in the heaven, how they do not change their orbits, and the luminaries which are in heaven, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and transgress not against their appointed order. Behold ye the earth, and give heed to the things which take place upon it, from first to last, how steadfast they are, how none of these things upon earth change, but all the works of God appear to you. Behold, the summer and the winter, how the whole earth is filled with water, and clouds and dew and rain lie upon it. Observe and see how in the winter all the trees seem as though they had withered, and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees, which do not lose their foliage, but retain the foliage from 2 to 3 years, till the new comes. And again, observe ye the days of summer, how the sun is above the earth, over against it. And again, observe ye the days of the summer, how the summer is above the earth, over against it. And ye seek shade and shelter by reason of the heat of the sun. And the earth also burns with growing heat, and so you cannot tread on the earth or on a rock by reason of its heat. Observe ye how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and bear fruit. Wherefore give ye heed, and know with regard to all works, and recognize how he that liveth forever hath made them so. And all his words go on thus from year to year, forever, and all the tasks which they accomplish for him, and their tasks change not, but according as God has ordained, so is it done. And behold, how the sea and the rivers in like manner accomplish and change not their task from its commandments. But ye have not been steadfast, nor done the commandments of the Lord, but ye have turned away and spoken proud in hard words with your impure mouth against his greatness. O ye hard-hearted, ye shall find no peace. Therefore shall ye accelerate your days, and your years of your life shall perish, and the years of your destruction shall be multiplied in eternal abomination, and ye shall find no mercy. In those days ye shall make your names an eternal abomination unto all the righteous, and by you shall all who curse. All the sinners and godless shall imprecate by you and for you, the godless there shall be a curse, and all the righteous shall rejoice, and there shall be forgiveness of sins, and every mercy and peace and forbearance. There shall be salvation unto them, a godly light, and for all of you sinners there shall be no salvation, but on you all shall abide the curse of the beast. But for the elect there shall be light and joy and peace, and they shall inherit the earth. And then there shall be bestowed upon the elect wisdom, and they shall all live and never again sin, either through ungodliness or through pride. But they who are wise shall be humble. And they shall not again transgress, nor shall they sin all the days of their life, nor shall they die of anger or wrath, but they shall complete the number of the days of their life. And their lives shall be increased in peace, and the years of their joy shall be multiplied in eternal gladness and peace all the days of their life. Chapter 3, Fallen Angels. And it came to pass, when the children of men had multiplied, that in those days were born unto them beautiful and comely daughters. And the angels, the children of the heaven, saw and lusted after them, and said to one another, Come, let us choose us wives from among the children of men, and beget us children. 3. And Sinjaja, who was their leader, said unto them, I fear you will not indeed agree to do this deed, and I alone shall have to pay the penalty of a great sin. So the head of the evil angels, of the angels that was faithless and abandoned God, and abandoned all they knew, was Sinjaja. Sinjaja. Okay, not Jaja, but Jaja. Jaza. Okay. So he was the head. Sinjaja was the one that was their leader. Hello, people. Hello. All right. Let's read on. I'm going to try to say these names and spell it. I did try to say them through. So let's do it. Okay, this is chapter 6. Hello, people. Hello. All right, let's read on. I'm going to try to say these names and spell it. I did try to say them through. So let's do it. Okay, this is chapter 6. And these are the names of their leaders. Chapter 6. And these are the names of their leaders. Samlaz. Samlazaz. Okay. Okay. Araklba. That's the second name that's up there. Ramel. Ramell. Kokabel. Kokablel. Tamlet. Tamlet. Ramlet. Ramlet. This is said like Dimel, like a diamond. Dimel. Damel. or it sounded like diamond when they said it. Danel. Ezekiel. Ezekiel. Ezequeel. And this is Bar, Baraqijal. Erzal. Asael. What is it? Amosis? I think, yeah. Amosis. Armaros. Barel. No, I think it's Batarel. Batarel. Amiel. Ananel. Ziklet. Zaqlet. Samsapel. Samsapel. Satrel. Not sir, but Satrel. Satarel. Turel. Turel. That's another one. And Jomjael. And Serial. Sariel. These are their chiefs of 10. 12. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in their ways. Okay, so I'm writing down the names of the good angels. Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. Okay. Chapter 4. And then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel looked down from heaven and saw much blood being shed upon the earth, and all the lawlessness being wrought upon the earth. Verse 2 of chapter 4. And they said one to another, the earth made without inhabitants cries the voice of their cryingness up to the gates of heaven. And now to you, the holy ones of heaven, the souls of men, make their suit, saying, bring our cause before the Most High. And they said to the Lord of the ages, Lord of lords, God of gods, King of kings, and God of the ages, the throne of thy glory standeth unto all the generation of the ages. Thy name holy and glorious and blessed unto all the ages. Thou hast made all things, and power over all things hast thou, and all things are naked and open in thy sight. And thou seest all things, and nothing can hide itself from thee. Thou see what Azrael hath done, who hath taught all unrighteousness on earth, and revealed the internal secrets were in heaven, which men were striving to learn. And Samlis, to whom thou hast given authority to bear rule over his associates. And they have gone to the daughters of men upon the earth, and have slept with the women, and have defiled themselves, and revealed to them all kinds of sins, and the women have borne giants, and the whole earth has thereby been filled with blood and unrighteousness. And now, behold, the souls of those who have died are crying out, making their suit to the gates of heaven, and their lamentations have ascended, and cannot cease because of the lawless deeds which are wrought on the earth. And thou knowest all things before they come to pass, and thou seest these things, and thou doest suffer them, and thou doest not say to us what we are to do to them in regard to these. And then the Most High, the Holy and Great Ones, speak, and sent Uriel to the son of Lamech, and said to him, Go to Noah, and tell him, in my name hide thyself, and reveal to him the end is approaching, that the whole earth will be destroyed, and a deluge is about to come upon the whole earth, and will destroy all that is in it. And now instruct him that he may escape, and his seed may be preserved for all the generations of the world. And again, 10. And again the Lord said to Raphael, Bind Azrael hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness, and make an opening in the desert, which is in Dudarel, and cast him therein, and place him rough and place upon him rough and jagged rocks, and cover him with darkness, and let him abide there forever, and cover his face, that he may see no light. And on the day of the great judgment he shall be cast into the fire. And to Gabriel said the Lord, Proceed against the bastards and the reprobates, and against the children of fornication, and destroy the children of the watchers from amongst men. Send them one against the other, that they may destroy each other in battle. For length of days shall they not have, and no request that they make of thee shall be granted unto their fathers and fathers on their behalf. For they hope to live an eternal life, and that each of them will live 500 years. And the Lord said unto Michael, Go bound Samlis and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of their beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valleys of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of consummation. 13. And the Lord said unto Michael, Go bound Samlis and his associates, who have united themselves with women, so as to have defiled themselves with them in all their uncleanness. And when their sons have slain one another, and they have seen the destruction of the beloved ones, bind them fast for 70 generations in the valley of the earth, till the day of their judgment and of their consummation, till the judgment that is forever and ever, is consummated. In those days they shall be led off to the abyss of fire, to the torment in the prison in which they shall be confined forever. And whosoever shall be condemned and destroyed will from henceforth be bound together with them to the end of all generations, and destroy all the spirits of the reprobate and the children of the watchers, because they have wronged mankind. Destroy all wrong from the face of the earth, and let every evil work come to an end, and let the plant of righteousness and truth appear, and it shall prove a blessing. The works of righteousness and truth shall be planted, and truth and joy forevermore. And then shall all the righteous escape, and shall live till they begot thousands of children, and all the days of their youth and their old age shall be complete in peace. 17. And then shall the whole earth be tilled in righteousness, and shall all be planted with trees and full of blessings. And all desirable trees shall be planted on it, and they shall plant vines on it, and the vine which they plant therein shall yield wine in abundance. And as for all the seed which is sown thereon, each measure shall bear 1,000, and each measure of olives shall yield 10 presses of oil. And cleanse thou the earth from all oppression, and from all unrighteousness, and from all sin, godlessness, and all the uncleanness that is wolf upon the earth. Destroy from off the earth. And all the children of men shall become righteous, and all nations shall offer adoration, and shall praise me, and all shall worship me, and the earth shall be cleansed from the defilement, and from all sin, and from all punishment, and from all torment, and I will never again send upon it from generation to generation and forever. And in those days I will open the store chambers of blessing, which are in the heaven, so as to send them down upon the earth over the work and labor of the children of men, and truth and peace shall be associated together throughout all the days of the world, and throughout all generations of men. Before these things Enoch was hidden, and no one of the children of men knew where he was hidden, and where he abode, and what had become of him. In his activities to do with the watchers in his days were with the holy ones. And I, Enoch, was blessing the Lord of majesty and the King of the ages. And lo, the watchers called me, Enoch the scribe, and said to me, Enoch, thou scribe of righteousness, go declare to the watchers of the heaven, who have left the high heaven, the holy, eternal place, and have defiled themselves with women, and have done as the children of the earth do, and have taken unto themselves wives. Say to them, you have wrought great destruction on the earth, and ye shall have no peace, no forgiveness of sin. And insomuch as they delight themselves in their children, and murder of their beloved ones, shall they see, and over the destruction of their children shall they lament, and shall make supplication unto eternity, but mercy and peace shall you not obtain. And Enoch, when he said, Azrael, thou shalt have no peace. A severe sentence has gone forth against thee to put thee in bounds, and thou shalt have no toleration, no request granted to thee, because the unrighteousness which thou hast taught, and because of all the works of godlessness and unrighteousness and sin which thou hast shown to men. Then I went and spoke to them, and they were all afraid, and fear and trembling seized them. And they besought me to draw up a petition for them, that they might find forgiveness, and to read their petition in the presence of the Lord of heaven. For from thenceforth they could not speak with him, nor lift up their eyes to heaven, for shame of their sins, for which they had been condemned. Then I wrote out their petition and the prayer in regard to their spirits and their deeds individually, and in regard to their requests that they should have forgiveness and length. And I went off and sat down at the waters of Dan, in the land of Dan, to the south of the west of Hermon. I read their petition till I fell asleep. And behold, a dream came to me, and visions fell down upon me, and I saw visions of chastisement, and a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven. Visions of chastisement, and a voice came bidding me to tell it to the sons of heaven, and reprimand them. And when I awoken, I came unto them, and they were all sitting gathered together, weeping. And Abizail, Abelsjail, which is between Lebanon and Sinsir, with their faces covered. And I recounted before them all the visions which I had seen in sleep, and I began to speak the words of righteousness, and to reprimand the heavenly watchers. Chapter 5, the Book of Righteousness. The book of the words of righteousness, and the reprimand of eternal watchers, in accordance with the command of the Holy Great One in the vision I saw in my sleep. What I will now say with a tongue of flesh, and with the breath of my mouth, which the Great One has given to men, to converse therewith and understand with their heart. 3. As he has created and given to men the power of understanding the word of wisdom, so hath he created me also, and given me the power of reprimanding the watchers, the children of heaven. I wrote out your petition, and in my vision it appeared thus, that your petition will not be granted unto you throughout all the days of eternity, and that judgment has been finally passed upon you. Your petition will not be granted unto you, and from henceforth you shall not ascend into heaven unto all eternity. And in bonds of the earth the decree has gone forth to bind you from all the days of the world. And previously you shall have seen destruction of your beloved sons, and you shall have no pleasure in them, but they shall fall before you by the sword. And your petition on their behalf shall not be granted, nor yet on your own, even though you weep and pray and speak all the words contained in the writing which I have written. And the vision was shown to me, behold, and the vision was shown to me thus, behold, the vision, clouds invited me, and a mist surrounded me, and the course of the stars and the lightning shed and hastened me, and the wings of the vision caused me to fly, and they lifted me upward and bore me into heaven. And I went until I drew close to a wall which is built of crystals and surrounded by tongues of fire, and it began to affright me. And I went into the tongue of fire and drew close to a large wall which was built of crystals, and the walls of the house were like a tessellated floor made of crystals, and its groundwork was of crystals. Its ceilings were like the path of the stars and the lightning, and between them were fiery cherubim, and their heaven was water. A flaming fire surrounded the walls, and its portals blazed with fire. And I entered into the house, and it was hot as fire and cold as ice. There were no delights of life therein. Fear covered me, and trembling got hold upon me. And as I quaked and trembled, I fell upon my face, and behold, a vision. And lo, there was a second house, greater than the former, and the entire portal stood open before me, and it was built of flames of fire. And in every respect it so excelled in splendor and magnificence, and extend that I cannot describe to you its splendor and its extent. And its floor was of fire, and above it were lightning, and the path of the stars, and its ceiling also was flaming fire. And I looked, and I saw therein a lofty throne. Its appearance was as crystal, and the wheels thereof as the shining sun. And there was the vision of cherubim And the great glory sat thereon, and his raiment shone more brightly than the sun. It was whiter than any snow. None of the angels could enter and could behold his face by reason of the magnificence and glory, and no flesh could behold him. And the flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him, and none could draw nigh him. 10,000 times 10,000 were yet the flaming fire was round about him, and a great fire stood before him, and none around could draw nigh. 10,000 times 10,000 were before him, yet he needed no counselor. Okay, 21. And the most holy ones who were nigh to him did not leave by night nor depart from him. And until then I had been prostrate on my face, trembling, and the Lord called me with his own mouth and said to me, Come hither, Enoch, and hear my word. 22. And one of the holy ones came to me and waked me, and he made me rise up and approach the door, and I bowed my face downwards. And he said, 23. And he answered and said to me, and I heard his voice, Fear not, Enoch, thou righteous man and scribe of righteousness, approach hither and hear my voice. And so, 24, and go say to the watchers of heaven who have sent thee to intercede for them, you should intercede for men, and not men from you. Wherefore have ye left the high, holy, and eternal heaven, and lain with women, and defiled yourself with the daughters of men, and taken to yourselves wives, and done like the children of the earth, and begotten giants as your sons? And though you were holy, spiritual, living the eternal life, you have defiled yourself with the blood of women, and have begotten the blood of flesh. And as the children of men have lusted after flesh and blood, as those also do who die and perish. Therefore have I given them wives also, that they might impregnate them, and begot children by them, that thus nothing might be wanting to them on earth. But you were formerly spiritual, living the eternal life, and immortal for all generations of the world. And therefore I have not appointed wives for you, for as the spiritual ones of the heaven, and heaven is their dwelling. And now the giants who are produced from the spirits and flesh should be called evil spirits upon the earth. And on the earth shall be their dwelling. Evil spirits have proceeded from their bodies, because they are born from men, and from the watchers is their beginning and their primal origin. They shall be evil spirits on the earth, and evil spirits shall they be called. And the spirits of the giants afflict, oppress, destroy, attack, do battle, and work destruction on the earth, and cause trouble. They take no food, but nevertheless hungry and thirst, and cause offenses. And these spirits shall rise up against the children of men and against the women, because they have proceeded from them. From the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh and spirits, having gone forth, shall destroy without incurring judgment. Thus shall they destroy until the day of consummation. Okay. For the days of the slaughter and destruction and death of the giants, from the souls of whose flesh the spirits, having gone forth, will destroy without incurring judgment. Thus shall they destroy until the day of the consummation, the great judgment, in which the age shall be consummated over the watchers, and the godless, yea, shall be wholly consummated. And now, as to the watchers who have sent thee to intercede for them, who had been aforetime in heaven, say to them, you have been in heaven, but all the mysteries had not yet been revealed to you. And you know, worthless ones, and these in the hardness of your hearts you have made known to the women, and thought these mysteries, women and men, work much evil on earth. Say to them, therefore you have no peace. Okay. Hello, people. Hi. Okay. All right. I have read to you the first 5 chapters, because this is chapter 6. The first 5 chapters of the Watchers I read with you, and I learned with you. So here we go. Now I can't read all these names, but the name of the good angels: Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gabriel. It was 200 of these evil angels, and they swore some kind of covenant, to make some kind of covenant. Semjaza, Semjaza, was the head of the 200. But then there were 10 chose to be over. And this is the evil that they taught the earth. Anzarel, weapons of war, knives, swords, shields, breastplates, bracelets, decoration and beauty, ornaments, autonomy, costly stones. And I mean, you know, heaven got stones everywhere. Diamonds, rubies, sapphires. You get stones in heaven. I guess they taught them to dig them up or something. And coloring tinctures. And not to marry but commit fornication. So Zamzajar, Zamzazar, Semjaza. Root, I guess root cutting, root working, I guess poisons, I guess. And enchantments. I believe casting spells. Barajal, Baragijal, astrology. You know, the signs. Cockabell, constellations. Just the stars. Just the stars, but all those constellations out there. Israel, knowledge of the clouds. The water cycle? I don't know. Knowledge of the clouds. Akragiel, Araquiel, the signs of the earth. Shamsiel, Samsiel, the signs of the sun. And Siriel, the course of the moon. These were considered the mysteries of God. But they also did something else. They did something evil. They commit sins against the animals, and then they begin to eat flesh and drink blood. So God don't go along with that at all. I guess it was human horror. Real horror. Some of these things have survived. And I guess some of them was taught too soon. I don't know. But we're going to read again. And I might do some live reading. But I might not. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and tune in to my channel. So I'm reading and I'm studying some of the stuff that they did. So I won't get this mixed up. And so, okay, they I don't see where it's at, but they also taught them the coloring of the eyes, or something to do with the eyes. Either it's color or it's jewels. It was either color or jewels, the coloring of the eyes. So I didn't write it down here, but it was something to do with the eyes. I guess it was either eyeshadow or something to do with the eyes. So they also taught them something to do with the eyes. I think it was the coloring of the eyes or shadow or something to do with color. Okay. I think we covered everything that we learned in that chapter, in those chapters 1 through 5. And next I'm going to read 5 more chapters. Thank you. Like, subscribe, tune into my channel, and I hope you enjoyed this this reading of the book of Enoch. It is interesting. It's and yeah, so his granddaddy, or was it his daddy, he was alive when the angels went to him and told him to start building the ark and talk to Noah. He was alive. Wow. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and tune into my channel. Okay. Let me say this before I start. I thought that a lot of things that was done on this earth and a lot of sin was created by the hearts of men that was here. the original Adam and Eve children. I find out by reading this book that a lot of this sin on this earth was caused by these evil angels. These angels that abandoned heaven and Jesus Christ. God Almighty was caused by them. That humanity was introduced to these sins by them. Now, this is after I read the first 5 chapters. All my life I thought that. And a lot of this strange sin and just even fornication was created by them. And it just leaves me in awe that people from heaven don't want their children to learn about heaven. And just want them to learn about the powers of the human being, who we were created by God. You know, enchantments. That's calling them instead of Jesus Christ. I don't know what said roots. I don't know if that's roots in the ground or working roots. I don't know which one is about. Is it about the roots in the ground or working roots? I don't know. I know that once you uproot a plant, you kill it. So I really don't know which one they're talking about. Sins against animals. All that was created by them. And I know heaven had diamonds and rubies and sapphires, but in heaven they have that, but it's on top of the water, and the stones are everywhere. I like the word jewelry, but I don't see what was the purpose of hurting the rocks. We do it now. What to think? And as far as the coloring of the eyes and the color goes and makeup, I know that I was taught folklore about that, or stuff that was handed down in my family, that the angels were colorful. For me to get back to this, and this is chapter 6. Angels took and brought me to a place in which those who were there were like flaming fire, and when they wished, they appeared as men. And they brought me to a place of darkness, and to a mountain, the port of whose summit reached to heaven. Dig. And I saw the place of the luminaries, and the treasures of the stars, and of the thunder, and in the uttermost depths, where were a fury bow and arrows, and their quiver, and a fury sword, and all the lightnings. And they took me to the living waters, and to the fire of the west, which receives every setting of the sun. And I came to a river of fire, in which the fire flows like water, and discharges itself into the great sea towards the west. And I saw the great rivers, and came to the great river, and to the great darkness, and went to the place where no flesh walks. I saw the mountains of the darkness of winter, and a place whence all waters of the deep flow. I saw the mouths of all rivers of the earth, and the mouth of the deep. I saw the treasures of all the winds. I saw how he furnished with them the whole creation and the firm foundations of the earth. And I saw the cornerstone of the earth. I saw the four winds which bear the firmament of the heaven. And I saw how the winds stretched out the vaults of heaven, and have their station between heaven and earth. These are the pillars of the heaven. I saw the winds of heaven which turn and bring the circumference of the sun and all the stars to their sitting. I saw the winds of the earth carrying the clouds. I saw the paths of the angels. I saw at the end of the earth the firmament of heaven above. And I proceeded and saw a place which burns day and night, where there are 7 mountains of magnificent stone, 3 towards the east and 3 towards the south. And as for those towards the east, was of colored stone, and one of pearl, and one of jacinth, and those toward the south of red stone. But the middle one reached to heaven, like the stone of God, of alabaster, and the summit of the throne was of sapphire. And I saw a flaming fire, and beyond those mountains is a region, the end of the great earth. There the heavens were completed. And I saw a deep abyss with columns of heavenly fire, and among them I saw columns of fire fall, which were beyond measure, alike towards the height and towards the depths. And beyond the abyss I saw a place which had no firmament of the heaven above, and no firmly found earth beneath it. There was no water upon it, and no birds, but it was a waste and horrible place. I saw there 7 stars like great burning mountains. And to me, when I inquired regarding them, the angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the hosts of heaven. And the stars which blow over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed time." And he was wroth with them, and bound them till the time when their guilt should be consumed for 10,000 years. And Uriel said to me, "Here shall stand the angels who have connected themselves with women, and their spirits, assuming many different forms, are defiling mankind, and shall lead them astray into sacrificing to demons as gods. Here shall they stand till the day of the great judgment, in which they shall be judged, till they are made an end of. And the woman also of the angels who went astray shall become sirens. And I, Enoch, alone saw the vision, the ends of all things, and no man shall see as I have seen. Chapter 7. The Holy Angels. And these are the names of the holy angels who watch mankind. Uriel, one of the holy angels, who is over the world and over Tartarus. Alright. Uriel, the good angel, is over Raphael, one of the holy angels, who is over the spirits of man, the spirits of men. Raphael, one of the holy angels, who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. So, oh no, that's Miguel. Oh, yeah, that's not Raphael. I'm sorry, y'all. For Regulel. Oh Lord. Michael, one of the holy angels, to wit, he is set over the best part of mankind and over cherubs. Seraquel, one of the holy angels, who is set over the spirits who sin in the spirit. Gabriel, one of the holy angels, who is over paradise and the serpents and the cherubim. Ramel, one of the holy angels, whom God set over those who rise. And I proceeded to where things were chaotic, and I saw there's something horrible. I saw neither a heaven above nor a firmly founded earth, but a place chaotic and horrible. And there I saw 7 stars of the heaven, bound together in it, like great mountains, and burning with fire. Then I saw, for what sin are they bound, and on what account have they been cast in hither? Then said Uriel, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and was chief over them, and said, Enoch, why doest thou ask, and why art thou eager for the truth? These are of number of the stars of heaven, which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord, and are bound here till 10,000 years. The time entitled by their sins are consummated. And from thence I went to another place, which was still more horrible than the former. And I saw a horrible thing, a great fire there, which burnt and blazed, and the place was cleft as far as the abyss, being full of great descending columns of fire. Neither its extent or magnitude could I see, nor could I conjure. Then I said, how far is the place, and not horrible to look upon? Then Uriel answered me, one of the holy angels, who was with me, and said unto me, Enoch, why hast thou such fear and affright? And I answered, because of this fearful place, and because of the spectacle of the pain. And he said to me, this place is the prison of the angels, and here they will be imprisoned forever. And thence I went to another place, the mountain of hard rock, and there was in it 4 hollow places, deep and wide and very smooth. How smooth are the hollow places, and deep and dark to look at. Then Raphael answered, one of the holy angels was with me, and said unto me, these hollow places have been created for its very purpose, that the spirits of the souls of the dead shall assemble therein, yea, that all the souls of the children of men shall assemble here. And these places have been made to receive them till the day of their judgment, till their appointed period, till the great judgment upon them. I saw a dead man making suit, and his voice went forth to heaven and made suit. And I asked Raphael, the angel who was with me, and I said to him, this spirit which maketh suit, whose is it? Whose voice goeth forth and maketh suit to heaven? 22. And he answered me, saying, this is the spirit which went forth from Abel, whom his brother Cain slew. And he makes his suit against him till his seed is destroyed from the face of the earth, and his seed is annihilated from amongst the seed of men. Thou I asked regarding it, and regarding how the hollow places, why is one separated from the other? And he answered me and said unto me, these 3 have been made, that the spirits of the dead might be separated, and such a division has been made for the spirits of the righteous, in which there is the bright spring of water, and which has been made for sinners when they die and are buried in the earth, and judgment has not been executed on them in their lifetime. Heathen spirits shall be set apart in the great pain till the day of judgment and punishment and torment of those who curse forever, and retribution for their spirits. There he shall bind them forever, and such a division has been made for the spirits of those who make their suit, who make disclosures concerning their destruction, when they were slain in the days of the sinners. Such has been made for the spirits of men who were not righteous but sinners, who were complete in transgressions. And of the transgressions they shall be companions, but the spirits shall not be slain in the day of judgment, nor shall they be raised from tents. The I blessed the Lord of glory, and said, blessed be my Lord, the Lord of righteousness, who ruleth forever. From thence I went to another place to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire which ran without resting, and pause not from his course day or night, but regularly. And I asked, saying, what is this which rests not? Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, This course of fire which thou hast seen is a fire in the west, with which persecutes all the luminaries of heaven. And from thence I went to another place of the earth, and he showed me a mountain range of fire, which burnt day and night. And I went, behold it, and saw 7 magnificent mountains, all different, each from the other. And the stones were magnificent, and beautiful magnificence as a whole, of glorious appearance, and fair exterior. 3 towards the east, one founded on the other, 3 towards the south, one upon the other, and deep rough ravines, no one of which joined with any other. And the 7th mountain was in the midst of these, and it excelled them in height, resembling the seat of a throne, and fragrant trees encircled the throne. And amongst them was a tree such as I had never yet smelt, neither was any amongst them, nor were others like it. It had a fragrance beyond all fragrance, and its leaves and blossoms and wood wither not forever, and its fruit is beautiful, and its fruit resembles the dates of a palm. Then I said, How beautiful is this tree, and fragrant, and its leaves are fair, and its blossoms very delightful in appearance. Then answered Michael, one of the holy and horrid angels, who was with me, and was their leader. And he said unto me, Enoch, why doest thou ask me regarding the fragrance of the tree? Why doest thou wish to learn the truth? Then I answered him, saying, I wish to know about everything, but especially about this tree. And he answered, saying, 39. And he answered, saying, This high mountain which thou hast seen, whose summit is like the throne of God, is God's throne, where the Holy Great One, the Lord of glory, the eternal King, will sit, when he shall come down to visit the earth with goodness. And as for this fragrant tree, no mortal is permitted to touch it till the great judgment, when he shall take vengeance on all and bring to it shall then be given to the righteous and holy. Its fruit shall be for food to the elect. It shall be transplanted to the holy place, to the temple of the Lord, the eternal King. Then shall they rejoice with joy and be glad, and into the holy place shall they enter, and its fragrance shall be in your bones, and they shall live a long life on earth, such as thy fathers lived. And in their days shall no sorrow or plague or torment or calamity touch them. Then blessed I, the God of glory, the eternal King, who hath prepared such things for the righteous, and hath created them and promised to give to them. And I went from thence to the middle of the earth, and I saw a blessed place, in which there were trees and branches abiding and blooming. And there I saw a holy mountain, and underneath the mountain to the east there was a stream. It flowed towards the south. I saw towards east another mountain higher than this, and behold them a deep and narrow ravine. In it also ran a stream underneath the mountain. And to the west thereof there was another mountain, lower than the former, and of small elevation, and a ravine deep and dry between them. And another deep and dry ravine was at the extremities of the three mountains. And all the ravines were deep and narrow, of hard rock, and trees were not planted upon them. And I marveled at the rocks, and I marveled at the ravine, yea, I marveled very much. Then said I, for what object is this blessed land, which is eternally filled with trees, and this accused valley between? (47) Then Uriel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered and said, this accursed valley is for those who are accursed forever. Here shall all the accursed be gathered together, who utter with their lips against the Lord unseemly words, and of his glory speak hard things. Here shall they be gathered together, and here shall be their place of judgment. In the last days there shall be upon them the spectacle of righteousness, judgment in the presence of the righteous forever. Here shall the merciful bless the Lord of glory, the eternal King. In the days of judgment over the former they shall bless him for mercy in accordance with which he has assigned them. Then I blessed the Lord of glory, and set forth his glory, and lauded him gloriously. 50 And thence I went towards the east into the midst of the mountain range of the desert, and I saw a wilderness, and it was solitary, full of trees and plants, and water gathered forth from above, rushing like a conspicuous watercourse towards the north. West it caused clouds and dew to ascend on every side. And thence I went to another place in the desert, and approached to the east of the mountain range, and there I saw aromatic trees exhaling the fragrance of frankincense and myrrh, and the trees were similar to the almond tree. And beyond these I went afar to the east, and I saw another place, a valley of water, and therein there was a tree, the color of fragrant trees, such as the mastic, and on the side of those valleys I saw fragrant cinnamon, and beyond these I proceeded to the east, and I saw other mountains, and amongst them were groves of trees, and they were flowered forth from the nectar, which is named Seraim and Galgamon. And beyond these mountains I saw another mountain to the east, being like earth, whereon were aloe trees, and all the trees was full of secti, being like almond trees. And when one burnt it, it smelt sweeter than any fragrance odor. And after these fragrant odors, as I looked towards the north over the mountains, I saw 7 mountains full of choice nard and fragrant trees and cinnamon and pepper. And thence I went over the summits of all these mountains far towards the east of the earth, and passed above the Eurythian Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the Angel. And thence, 55, and thence I went over the summits of all those mountains far towards the east of the earth, and passed over the Eurythian Sea, and went far from it, and passed over the Angel Zotiel. And I came to the garden of righteousness, and from afar off I saw numerous trees, and these great 2 trees, they're very great, beautiful and glorious and magnificent, and the tree of knowledge, whose holy fruit they eat and know great wisdom. That tree is the height, and his leaves, that tree is in height like the strangler tree, and its leaves are like the carob tree, and its fruit is like the clusters of the vine. Very beautiful, and the fragrance of that tree penetrates afar. Then I said, how beautiful is the tree, and how attractive is its look. And Raphael, the holy angel, who was with me, answered me and said, this is the tree of wisdom, of which thy father old and thy aged mother, who were before thee, have eaten. And they learnt wisdom, and their eyes were open, and they knew that they were naked, and they were driven out of the garden. And from thence I went to the ends of the earth, and saw their great beasts, and each differ from the other, and birds also differing in appearance, and beauty and voice, the one differing from the other. And to the east of those beasts I saw the ends of the earth whereon the heaven rest, and the portals of the heaven open. And I saw how the stars of heaven came forth, and counted the portals out of which they proceed, and wrote down all their outlets of each individual star by itself, according to their number and their names, their course and their positions, in their times and their mouths. As Uriel, the holy angel, was with me, showed me. And from thence I went towards the north, to the end of the earth, and there I saw a great and glorious device at the ends of the whole earth. And 64, and there I saw 3 portals of heaven open in the heaven. though each of them proceed north winds. When they blew, there is cold, hail, frost, snow, dew, and rain. And out of one portal they blew for good, but when they blew through the other two portals, it is with violence in affliction on the earth, and they blew with violence. And from thence I went to the south, to the ends of the earth, and saw there 3 open portals of the heaven, and thence there came dew, rain, and wind. And from thence I went to the east, to the ends of heaven, and saw there the 3 eastern portals of heaven, out of heaven, open with small portals above them. 67. Through each of these portals pass the stars of heaven, and run their course to the west on the path which is shown to them. And as often as I saw, I blessed always the Lord of glory. And I continue to bless the Lord of glory, who has wrought great and glorious wonders, to show greatness of his work to the angels, and to spirits, and to men, that they might praise his work, and all his creation, that they might see the work of his might, and praise the great work of his hand, and bless him forever.